We'll go ahead and start. It is 4:15. This is the Fairfield Historic District Commission special meeting on Wednesday, April 2nd, 4:15. It is to discuss a kitchen window in 176 Main Street, apartment 1B. I'll have Matthew present. So actually, first of all, let's call attendance. Jim Bohan.
Present. Rosina, thank you.
Art Gravanis.
I'm here, thank you.
Jim Acamondo. Jim?
I'm here.
Are you present? Thank you.
Yep.
And I'm Rosina Negron. Absent today are Darren Raymond Locke, Maura Garrick, and George Clark. Greg Valente is also absent, but supposedly coming to this meeting. So go ahead, Matt. I'm gonna share the presentation so that you guys can all see.
Sure.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, great. Okay, well, just as a quick introduction, so my name's Matt Richardson. So I am the owner of 176 Main Street 1B. And the purpose of the meeting is obviously to try and come to, or to try and get some guidance from you all as to what would be acceptable as a replacement for the current situation with the window at 176 Main Street.
And let me explain a little. There was a violation because there was, I guess, an existing window. Adam Fiverr allowed for a repair order in kind. But when the violation was removed and we went to see the window that exists today versus the window that was a replacing kind are very different in terms of materials and the style. So just so that you guys are in an understanding. So
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, so background is what it is, and so I'd really like your guidance because I'm feeling a little lost in terms of how to go about this replacement to get something that is acceptable. Because the window, as you can see in the picture there, was a replacement at some point since the apartment and the building was constructed, assuming it was sometime around the 80s. And the original window was a mixed composite wood material window, which now that I'd like to, we're in the situation now, I'd like to replace it and try and find a middle ground where we can get to something that would look more in character with the building itself in terms of sort of the other windows and the original windows. So I've provided a couple of options. Just number one, as a replacement in kind to the window that you saw in the above photo, being a 3 individual pane casement window. But after speaking to Rosina, this one would be a wood construction, which is, as I hear, is the preference of the commission. Or option 2, which I think is a little closer to something that we see in the other adjoining windows to the left in the lounge room in particular. If we could split the current sort of the existing space into 2, and then have 2 two single pane windows, but with the casement windows that open towards the outsides, being sort of like the far left and far right, with the hinges down the middle, and with the grills, or I don't know the correct terminology for it.
Contents,
Pardon me?
the divided
The dividers, yeah.
contents, yeah.
So, and have interior and exterior mountains with the in line with what you can see in the estimate that I've received from the supplier.
Let me put the one that shows. So here are the two options. So replacement in kind with 3 pane casement windows. The current window will be replaced with 3 individual pane casement windows with painted wood frame in white. The original window replaced was not the original to the building, but replaced sometime in the 1980s. Replacement window will be a wood frame and confirmed with 3 individual panels. And the left and right panels will be able to open and with a hinge from the middle, with the openings available from the far left and right. And then the option 2, replacement with a 2 pane casement window with grills fixed on the inside and outside of the glass panes to get a closer match to the windows in the rest of the building. 2 panels are designated to provide the closer match and scale to the windows of the rest of the building. The window will be constructed of wood frame with the dividing side grills on the inside and outside of the 2 glass panes, and each glass panel is to be divided in 4 rectangles. So here was so it will be like that, correct?
Correct.
And those were the windows that you were referring before.
Yes, yeah, they're in the lounge room, which is the adjoining room to the kitchen.
Jim Akamondo, do you have any questions or comments?
Are we going between the either or just questions overall?
Questions overall, and you can post your preference based on the historic character.
My personal opinion looks like version 2 might be closer. But I understand the situation he's in. I guess that would be it. I'd go with version 2 if possible.
Okay. Any other comments?
Rosina, it's Art. For what it's worth, I'm of the same mind as Jim Accomanda.
Okay. Jim Bohan?
Rosina, I'm confused.
Okay.
There are external views and internal views.
Okay.
And there's a big room with a big walk-in bay window that's obviously not in the kitchen. Number one
Okay,
question,
so
is there any image of option 2 from the outside?
no, but since you're confused, let me walk you through the pictures so that you
Okay.
understand a little bit better, or do you
Thank
want
you,
to?
thank
Oh, no, you feel
Okay.
please, Rosanna.
So Jim, this is the exterior view.
Yep.
You can see
This
the
is-
window.
This is what's there now?
Correct.
Right, okay. Now,
So
is
you see
that,
the window.
is that equivalent to option 1?
Yes.
Okay,
In a way, yes.
okay.
So
What-
at the moment, the window that's there is a picture frame window And it has on the inside, so it's that window, the one that exists at the moment.
Yep, thank you.
And it has on the inside, it's just, you can see that it's, hold on,
One pane of glass each.
no. Give me
Three
a
panes of
second
glass.
that, there. Can you see there? It's basically at the moment just one big picture window
Right.
that has wood pieces on the inside to replicate the look of 3 casement windows.
But from the outside, it doesn't look like it's replicating anything other than a great big piece of glass in each of the 2 or 3 windows.
Correct. And that is why the replacement in kind, it's not quite a replacement in kind. That's why
Okay.
we're asking him to come for a certificate of appropriateness
right.
or a window that it's more in kind.
Okay,
Yeah, because the other option, which wasn't listed here, because I when I was speaking to Rosina, not sure what it was probably the least favored option, was to trim out the exterior of the window also. So when you would see it from the exterior view, you would also see the wooden casement, which would be my preference. But that would be up to you guys, I guess.
now you're talking about option 2 just now or back to option 1?
A different
I
option.
was kind of saying an option 3,
Okay,
which would be to trim out the current window which you see here in the photos, and from the exterior view, to construct an additional like the dividing panels to replicate what you can see on the inside. So from the exterior, you can see the wooden and effectively a wooden casement, but it would still just have a single panel of glass in the middle. But because it's over a sink and in a kitchen, it would be better to keep it as one pane if the commission would allow.
so that's an option 3. Okay,
Yes.
okay. If you're looking for suggestions for the hearing, the official hearing, I think you need to make this all very clear, clearer than it is now, to me, at any rate. That's all I
So
have,
for-
Rosina.
For the hearing, he will have to come with one option,
Yes.
not all 3 options. And that's why we're here,
Right, but
to assist him figure
Right.
out.
Right, but it's got to be clearer than it is now to me. And would there be a need to show how his proposal differs from what's there now? I would be inclined to be looking for that, right?
I think
So,
it'll be
Jim-
like any other hearing, Jim.
Right.
Correct. Jim,
There's
the
nothing
one that's on
different.
the screen, the one
No, I
that's on the
understand.
screen right now, it's option 2.
Right. Okay. No other questions, and thank you very much.
Okay. And then I do have a few comments. I think option 1, which is similar to what was there before, which will be this, might still not be in character with the building.
Mhm.
Even though it will have been a replacement in kind. Option 2, in my opinion, is the one that will make everything look more together, because it will, in a way, show the divided lights, just like all the other windows in the house. Option 3 that you just mentioned, my biggest concern is that it will still be the single pane of glass, which is not wood, as shown here. And it will just be an applied muntin and kind of a large applied muntin on the exterior. So to me, that one might not be as in kind as what option 2 will be. But that's kind
Yeah,
of,
because the reason why we went this option in the first place was because the original or the window that was in place before was the composite mixed with wood, and so that was when I had the repair order submitted, approved, and reviewed. That was what I very clearly stated in there, and that was the closest I could get. So that's sort of where we ended up with that. So I mean, the ideal scenario for me would be to trim out the outside, because it's obviously sort of, I think, as close as I can get to what was there before, and obviously it would not involve having to replace the window again.
and Greg is here now. You sort of missed the presentation. So any of the attendants have any comments regarding that option 3 that he's proposed?
Could you walk through the details of it once more, for my sake?
Yes, certainly. So what we would see as the completion of the window would be on the exterior here, to construct a wooden frame around the window and have 2 vertical wooden dividers in the same location as the 2 that you can see through the window on the inside. So you would replicate the wooden frame around, and so for all intents and purposes, from the street view and from the exterior, you would see 3 individual panes of glass, or separated by the 2 other vertical stripes. So you're not looking through and seeing the wood on the inside, you'll also be seeing it from the outside.
So what's there now has 1 pane of glass. What you're offering in option 2 is 3 panes of glass.
Yes, and then option 3 would just be to trim around the window, this current window, which is 1 pane with 2 vertical wooden light dividers, but it would still be the same single pane of glass picture window.
Okay, so once again, option 1, option 1 is 1 pane of glass, option 2 is 3 panes of glass, and you're saying option 3 would be 1 pane of glass again?
No, option 1 will be this, right?
Yes.
So this will be option 1.
That's 3 panes of glass.
3 panes of glass, yes.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Option 2 will be this on the interior. Actually, no, sorry. This will be option 3. This on the interior, which is this window on the exterior, but he will put a trim around the window, and he will put applied vertical muntins on the exterior to replicate where the pieces of wood are on the interior.
So Uh, I'm sorry. Option 2 then would be 1 pane of glass posing as 3 panes of glass.
No,
Sorry.
this is option 2.
Okay. 2 panes of glass.
Correct, with divided lights applied.
Okay. Okay.
So Greg, so that you get an idea.
Yep.
This is the property.
Yep.
That is the window
Yep.
in the kitchen.
Yep.
It used to be like this.
Yep.
It was a repair in kind, but the repair in kind was instead of this window,
Yep.
it's a single pane with an applied piece of wood on the interior.
Yep.
Which you see there, the detail. And the options are the same as this original.
Yep.
This one, which in a way replicates what he has in the other rooms,
Yep.
or using what he has at the moment with an applied frame.
Yep.
So if you have any questions or comments,
No,
feel free.
the applied frame, that version right there doesn't, the only issue is the windows don't open. The other option, you'll have the ability to have the windows open and close, all 3, right? Or at least all 2.
Yeah, no, yeah, so on the 3 casement option, or the replacement 3 casement option.
Yep.
Would have the 2 sides ability to open, the 2 panes of glass would have both. And then, because it's over the sink and it makes sense to, ideally for me to leave it as it is with the lid without opening, because there are windows on either side.
Yeah. I
But
understand.
what we're looking at now is what was there originally, right?
Correct, and that
Okay.
will be option 1.
Right. Right. Okay. And option 3 will be 3 panes of glass like this.
No, option 3 will be this window with an applied frame on the outside.
The frame is going to be wood trim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. It needs, like all presentations, it needs clarity. And I think the third might be the best option from my own point of view, but let's see how the board addresses it. Thank you very much.
No,
Okay.
thank you.
So Jim, are you still remaining with the same idea as before? Jim A?
Yeah, with just the 2 windows.
Option 2?
Option 2.
Art?
Correct. It looks like you went to answer a phone.
So, Jim, do you think option 3 would be off the table, or it would be? Sorry, I always get confused when we're talking about the.
Option 3 is,
Yeah.
that's just your replacement.
Yeah, so option 3, this one here would be.
I
not an
don't think
option.
I don't think it's off the table. I mean, it's already up there, and I know you were.
Yeah.
I know whoever did it, yourself or whoever, tried to keep with the original windows. I was just saying version 2, option 2 looks more like the rest of the house with the 2 side as opposed to the 3. This one really stands out when you look at it from outside. It's different, but it's in keeping 1980s. I get it. But if it's in keeping with the spirit of the house, I think version 2, it does it more for me. But this is just a preliminary anyway, correct?
What was that?
This is just a preliminary anyway, correct?
Correct. Thank you. Art, do you have any more comments, or are you still of the same mind frame?
I'm good.
Okay. Jim, are you good?
Yeah, can you confirm, I haven't been down there since this came up. Can you confirm that this is visible from the street, from the public way?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. No, that's all. Thank you very much.
Okay. Right. Do you have any preference between 1, 2, or 3?
Leaning towards 2.
Okay.
So do you think, would you consider option 3?
That's what's there now, right?
What's that now plus the frame, the additional progressive?
Just thinking about it. Guess a preference for 2.
Yeah, and I kind of also agree. Option 2 will be the best option of them all, just because it will be more in character. I understand the replacement in kind that was brought, but what was provided was not really a replacement in kind. So that is where my biggest concern is. So. Any other questions?
So the process now, so I should complete the
Certificate of appropriateness.
submit it through the meeting, is it on the 19th coming up?
So the meeting will be next month.
Next month.
You missed the application for April,
Yeah, okay,
so it will be for May.
okay. Okay, so, and there's no option to submit it through, like as a, not an emergency, I'll call it that, but as a,
It goes by kind of, there's a closing time for the certificate of appropriateness, and we closed that a few weeks ago. So
Yep.
that is,
okay, so if I went with option 1 as a replacement in kind, which is what I have approved already,
mhm.
could I just proceed with that and achieve option 1?
I will have to check what exactly the violation that was brought over was, because I'm still not 100% sure what was the violation. If the violation was that the window was not replaced, or exactly what. I reached out to Adam and I didn't get anything back. I know I read the repair order, which was supposed to be a repair in kind, which is not a repair in kind. So I will still have to see what exactly was the deal with the violation.
Okay. Yeah, okay, just because for me, like if I can proceed with that, or I know I've missed the date, or have it submitted, if I was just going to agree to do option number 2, and have it submitted for this coming meeting, just because I've got it empty waiting for tenants.
Yes.
I don't want to process off for another 2 months if we can find a balance,
Okay.
A balanced agreement.
Okay. Let me verify the whole violation. I know it seems that almost everyone prefers that option two.
Yeah,
So if you were to submit, let's say in May, you will have more chances to get it approved if it was option two.
Yeah.
So let me double check and see what we can try to do in terms of if you were going with option two, what are your choices?
Yeah.
So-
yeah. I mean, if I could, I would commit to option two because that seems like everybody's favorite. If we could just sneak it into April's meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
We might not be able to do that, but let's see
yeah,
what we could do.
yeah, because I otherwise if I am not able to do that, then I my preference, and which is probably not the ideal option, is to replace it with option two, because it's already approved, ready to go, and I could just order it tomorrow.
So will everyone agree if option two was the one that was gonna be presented in May? Will we all vote in favor or against? Let's say, let's do a sample voting. Let's say that option two was the option presented in May. If we put a motion in place, will that motion pass or no?
I'd vote yes.
I'd vote yes.
Jim B?
I think I'd vote yes.
Okay, Greg? Okay. Okay, and I will also vote yes. So let me see what we can do. It will still have to be in May, but let's figure something out. Perhaps it can be that since we've all voted in a way in favor of option B being the preferred, if you moved along with that, then we'll see the application in May, but you might be able to start the work.
Yeah,
So will everyone in the commission agree to, we'll see this application in May, but if he comes in and starts the work to have the window replaced, it will be okay?
Yes.
No objection.
Okay,
Agree.
so
Yep.
let's just do a motion, a preliminary motion for, let's say, the application of option B. Is there anyone that can put forward a motion?
Yeah, this is Art Gravanis. I would propose a motion to approve option two as presented in the application.
Okay, anyone seconds?
So,
Okay, Greg?
Yep.
Let's vote. Everyone in favor of the motion?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, everyone? So if we were to allow him to start the work with option two, we will come back for the certificate of appropriateness in May, but perhaps the window will have been replaced by then. So, okay,
No objection.
okay, sounds good. Any other questions or comments?
I just thank you all for your time, and I understand where this is not a usual process, so I do appreciate everybody's efforts and considerations. Yeah, at the end of the day.
So you will still have to provide a certificate of appropriateness. You will have to provide a plot plan
Mhm.
approved by zoning with their stamp.
Plot plan is the
It's a survey that shows
Just-
the location of the window, yeah. And then you will provide some images to show what you're proposing.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, sure.
so I think that is all for today. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
That's Jim A. Anyone seconds?
I'll second it.
Jim B. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. It is 4:50. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you now.
Thank you.